up? I'm Allie and I'm here with Anna Cathcart.
Hi!
You might recognize Anna from Brat TV's Zoe Valentine, Disney Channel's Descendants 2 and 3, and most importantly, Netflix's To All the Boys I Loved Before.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here.
I know, and we're so happy to have you.
Thank you.
You are only 16 years old, you're so young, but you have been a part of so many projects that I am such a fan of.
Thank you.
I named a couple of them off just now, but like, take me back to the beginning. How did this all start? Have you always wanted to be an actress?
Well, I think I've always wanted to be an actress, but I've always thought it wasn't really possible. So it was like such a distant dream of mine that I wouldn't even like say, like I wouldn't even tell people like, yeah, like that's my dream, because I was like, oh, it's just like a dream, like going to space, like it's not gonna happen.
But we should also go to space at some point.
For sure.
Two of us.
But like, it's crazy. I still can't believe it. I always say this, but like I totally mean it. That's like pinch myself moments all the time. Like how is this my life and how am I doing this? It's so wild, but it's a dream for sure.
So, like I said, I'm such a fan of your work, but I have to admit, I'm like probably the biggest Descendants fan of all time. I watch the Good to Be Bad music video like 3 times a day.
Same.
Just to keep my morale in life up, you know? It is good to be bad.
Yeah.
So I have to ask before we jump into anything else, because Dove Cameron recently did an interview, and in it she said that she thinks Disney Channel should do a D4 spin-off featuring the younger castmates, which would be
I did
yourself,
not know that she said that.
Jada as Celia, like Squirmy Squeaky.
Right.
Is that something that you think we should keep an eye out for?
I have no idea. Like that sounds amazing. I loved working with that cast. That whole project was so incredible. I've never worked on a musical before, so that was just a whole other element. But that would be so cool. I don't know anything about that. I didn't even know she said that. That's amazing. Well, thank you. I don't know. We're excited.
Okay, so I'll just keep my fingers crossed that happens at some point.
Right.
Obviously, it's a little bit further in the future. Luckily, we have some exciting projects coming up in the super, super near future.
Yes.
To All the Boys, P.S. I Still Love You comes out so soon now.
So soon.
When I heard the news that, the sequel was official, it was coming, I, along with the rest of the world, freaked out. Like, full on freak out.
Fully, yeah.
So can you relate? What was your reaction when you got the news? Where were you? What was going down? Walk me through it.
It was crazy. I think I was filming Spring Breakaway with Brat, and I found out, my agent called me, and I was freaking out, but I couldn't like show it, because obviously it was like secret, was still on the download, they were still figuring things out, so it was totally still in the works. It wasn't like out or anything that people knew, so I had to just keep it to myself. But it was like, I think I was just mind blown. Like, I was like, seriously, like we didn't even know when we filmed the first movie. Like the reaction just by the fans in general was so like amazing, and I'm so grateful to be part of this. But that we actually get to do a sequel, and then the third as well, they were talking about at the same time, which was just, it's so crazy. I still can't believe it.
So there's so much about the sequel that I'm really looking forward to, but I think one of the coolest parts about getting this second and third movie is that we really get to see the characters grow throughout the movies. How do you think Kitty has really evolved from the first movie now to the sequel?
I mean, she's obviously a little bit older. She's still the same, like, feisty, like, sneaky. She meddles a lot with people's love life. She's still the same girl for sure, but I think, like, some time has passed and you see everybody and what's going on in their lives, and obviously Lara Jean is going through a lot as well, and she's growing in every aspect of her life, so I think you get to see a lot of that. But Kitty, you can expect the same girl, for sure. She still has all of her fun qualities.
Oh, I love that. And I feel like, it's pretty evident that not only are your characters growing and evolving, but you guys are too. Like, just as people, you've been, working on these movies for a couple of years now. I'm sure there are so many life lessons that you've picked up along the way, through the movies, through elsewhere. What is kind of a lesson that you have learned from each one of your Covey sisters? Like, is there any advice that Lana or Janel has given you that's really stuck with you?
They're definitely giving me a lot of advice. We have a lot of those just like life advice sessions. We'll be like sitting in each other's trailer or like having dinner or something, or just be like, talk to me, like tell me what's going on. But I think something that they stress a lot and they tell me is like, you need to take care of yourself. Sometimes, of course, like take care of your friends and take care of other people, but it's also very important to take time for you and have me time. And you can get like, this industry, so much going on all the time, and you're super busy and it's super fun, but you can get lost in it, it can get super hectic. So it is important to just like take that moment to breathe sometime, which is, I totally agree, and is super important for me to remind myself. So I think that's one thing, but they've honestly given me so much advice, or specific situations. I'm going through something and I wasn't sure how to handle it or what I should do. they would always be there for me. And I also have an older sister in real life who does the same thing.
Yeah.
So now I just have like a bunch of older siblings really that I can look up to and go to, and I'm so grateful.
So many sisters.
Yeah, it's best.
Well, I love the relationship you have with both Lana and Janel, and I feel like, you know, you guys just have the cutest relationship both on screen and off screen. Probably because you guys film so many kind of sister scenes together.
Right. Yeah.
And I remember last time we talked about To All the Boys was right after the first movie came out, and you had told me about this scene that you were super bummed never made the final cut because it was such a cute moment between Lara Jean and
we
Kitty.
were eating cereal.
Yes, I remember. It was a scene where you guys were eating cereal in the kitchen, and you said it was
I love that scene.
so much fun to film because you guys were eating Lucky Charms and giggling and throwing marshmallows at each other.
Yeah.
Are there any scenes in the sequel that you're such a fan of, but that you think didn't make the final cut?
Yeah, there's one scene that I was watching the movie and then I was like, wait, what is not here?
Oh no.
I think that happens in like so many movies, so totally understandable. But it was me, we were walking out of the house, I was holding my Korean yogurt drink, so that was like another little tie back to the first movie, and we were walking to the car and I was giving her more life advice about Peter, and I was like, make sure you do this, and she was like, wow, like thank you so much, because you know so much about relationships. And then I was kind of mad at her for saying that, so I pull out my helmet out of my backpack, and it's like, I put on my helmet again, and I'm like, wow, can't like, get ready for this drive, and then I get in the car, and it was really cute. I was also wearing a really good outfit, and I like my outfit now. No one gets to see the outfit.
Oh my goodness.
It was a really fun scene, and yeah, it was a short one, but it was really cute. And hopefully they can come out with like deleted scenes or something later. I would love to see that, but yeah.
Ooh, well, I hope I get to see that at one point for sure. And you bring up Kitty's outfits. I am such a fan of her sense of style. It's so Kitty, it's bold, it's colorful, it's fierce and feisty, like you said.
Exactly.
I have to know, did you steal any of Kitty's wardrobe after you guys wrapped filming?
There's definitely things I wanted to take for sure. She wore, this is like actually a funny story. So there were shoes like that. I was wearing shoes like that, and I love them. Yeah, those shoes, they were like extra platform though, so I was like, oh, I feel so cool. I was wearing them, and then I got to set, and I was like, this is such a good outfit, and they're like, whoa, you're so tall. You cannot wear those, because I was like so much taller than Lana. So Lana was like, she was like, no, it's just your shoes are tall. I'm really tall. So I literally had to change into like flats because they were like, that's crazy, you can't wear those. So I wanted to take those shoes though because I thought they were so cool, but I didn't get a chance to take them, but I did take my feminist necklace. So not like I didn't steal it, they told me I could take it. So I took that necklace, and it's like such an iconic thing to the character, so I'm so happy that I could have it. And yeah, it's at home in my little jewelry box.
Oh, I love that. You'll definitely have to wear it, have a little piece of Kitty with you always.
Sure.
On the same note of style, you know, there's this really cool moment in the sequel where Kitty and Lara Jean, you know, are celebrating Korean New Year. And, you know, they wear these traditional Korean, you know, formal wear.
Yeah.
And it's super cool to kind of showcase this moment where they're celebrating their heritage and their culture.
Yeah, for sure.
And obviously, like, a really important part of the storyline is that they come from this biracial family, which I think is so important to showcase. But what does it mean to you to be a part of a story in a movie like that that really does, you know, represent people that so many of your audience members can relate to, but might not necessarily, you know, be in as many movies and TV shows as they really should be?
Yeah, I think it was super special because I myself am half Chinese, and that culture is super important to me, and we celebrate our Chinese New Year, and we have all of our traditions, so getting to now see like the Korean ones and getting to represent that for those people, I think was super cool. And just like something that we've always thought since the first movie is that we're not like, oh, we're a biracial family, we're Korean, is like the stress. It's just we happen to be that way because we're just a regular family who lives in the US. Like, it's not like there's no stress on that, because I think a lot of movies, even if they do have that, it's like, oh, they are like an Asian family and that is like part of the plot. But this was just like, we're just people and we just happen to be that way, which I think is really cool for people to see that we're just like everybody else. Like, it's like, yeah, great representation for sure.
Yeah, and I love that too. I think that it's so important for kids and teens and adults to see that like not everybody not every family looks like your family. Not every family celebrates the things, but it's all normal.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that's a kind of really beautiful message that comes along with the movie. So lastly, I have to ask you the most important question of all. I'm wondering, your fans are wondering,
I'm getting stressed.
I'm sure your mom is wondering. Are you ready?
I doubt it, but okay.
Are you Team Peter Kavinsky or Team John Ambrose?
Okay, this question, right, everybody's wondering this question. Yes. It's so stressful because I think I'm going to get attacked by everybody. Either one I say, because there's people on both sides.
I don't know, let's find out.
Okay, I have this long explanation. So I personally, as Anna, I like both of them, but John Ambrose is like more my type of guy in real life.
Okay.
So I would go with John Ambrose. But for Laura Jean, I understand that Peter's Peter and like they're both amazing for her. I don't know, we were talking about this as a cast, which was really funny, and we were saying like John Ambrose is like endgame boyfriend, but like Peter's like high school boyfriend. But like not insult to either of them, just like they're different and they're like for different times in her life, I think. But right now, I don't know. I'm gonna stop talking. I don't know.
Okay, no.
But yeah, I think Kitty would choose Peter, but Anna chooses Laura. No, wait. Kitty chooses Peter, but I think like I would choose John Ambrose.
Well, I have to give it to you. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, right?
And I kind of agree. I think that it's so easy to see Peter as this like heartthrob, and we obviously love him to death.
Of course.
But there's so much more out there for Laura, so we'll have to see how it plays out. Anna, thank you so much for hanging out with us. This was really fun.
This was super fun. Yeah,
and I'm so excited for everybody to see the movie.
Me too.
TigerBeat fam, make sure you catch To All the Boys, P.S. I Still Love You on Netflix February 12th.
Bye.